sorry. I don't mean to reach over you.
No. Wait, so how did you two first meet?
I think we met at an establishment which was known for providing laughs to children in a factory type of manner, possibly.
He's
Chuck
not
E.
sure if he
Cheese?
could. He doesn't know if he can say the name.
Well, yeah, because maybe someone doesn't work there anymore.
Well, I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, Holiday Party 2018, so I would have been like 20 years old.
Yeah, I remember one of the bartenders was like, because you were fucked up.
Oh, of course.
One of the bartenders
I have
leaned
a
in and was
history.
like, he was like, "Do you
He's
remember
dumb.
your first beer?" And I was like, "The fuck?"
Ooh.
I thought that shit was so
Yeah.
funny.
No, well, if I also remember that, I think I was also like sad and upset over a breakup, so I was probably drinking a little harder. But like, quite honestly, I have a little bit of a reputation of being messy, and I don't mind. I'm free to fun. I like to have a good time.
Mike, now you straight from the south side. Mike, now you. I'm just so happy to be here right now. Real Rap Podcast.
You're still in your 20s?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to just be sloppy. Your 20s should be somewhat of a blur.
Oh
And then
Lord.
start to get your life together, mid-30s. And then,
Oh, mid-30s. I can't wait that long. My back will be in no condition for whoever's left.
Excuse me, I'm 35.
Okay, that's you and your problem.
Ugh.
Like,
Clearly, it is a problem because
What?
you see, I told you I gained weight. I was like, like I was trying to put on some clothes to come here, and I was like literally breaking out into a sweat trying to put on my pants.
My ass
I'm
is
glad
just
you
too
found it
big.
here. You know where here is? Here is another episode of the Real Rap Podcast.
Hey,
shit.
Hey, we in the building. This is episode 21. The Real Rap Podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And the content coming at you every week. Your favorite podcast. And today, I am joined on the panel by some very special guests. We're going to get right into it. Matt Brown, if you wouldn't mind telling the folks a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the city, how long you've been in the game, or what the name of your game is.
What's the name of my game? I'm a stand-up comedian and a singer and just a general bad time. I've been in Chicago since 2016. I moved here from Springfield, Illinois, and I tell jokes and just really, I do a lot of hosting, a lot of headlining. I live to make straight people in my audience uncomfortable. It's really what I'm here for. My eyelashes will tickle you in all the wrong places.
Is that are there still a lot of stuffy people in the crowd that you go at?
Oh yeah, well I love wherever anybody's uptight, because even now, like if you're not liberal enough, they're uptight. If you're not, if you look like this and you don't say everything you're supposed to say, they're uptight. So I'm always just catching people wherever I can. Wherever you're not supposed to go, I'm right there with red lipstick.
Oh hell yeah! We're gonna get right into introducing Jess here in a moment. But I have one more question for you.
Yes.
With the labels, with the LGBTQ,
HBO Go, Amazon Prime.
yeah,
cool.
ABC, TMZ. Are those like not saying that there's a big grand like meeting once a month?
Well, no, the rich white gays are in charge of everything, and they do have rules. So
it's
yeah,
the same thing all
yeah.
across the board.
Absolutely. You always have to answer to a 70-year-old white man named Ted. Everything goes by Ted's desk.
And then and everybody else is like, it's not that big of a deal.
Sorry, we just got to deal with it. Sorry, guys. No, but what was the question?
Are those like the identified things? Is that big? Is that actually like, okay, this is a voice that needs to be heard, and or is it something that's being overplayed, or is it like, you know what, this does need to be recognized? I
think that it should be recognized in like its actuality, like in how it represents itself. But I think when you just look at just the by and large of it, I do not think that many gay, trans, and queer people want to do stand-up comedy. I just don't really think they want to. And so the few that do find it to be a bit of a hard time because there's no real precedent. Like, women talk to me about how hard it is to be a girl in stand-up comedy. And it's like, you have stand-up comedy albums and history to go back all the way to the 1950s.
Oh, wow, right.
I would like one of you to name me 5 gay guys with specials. You can't. I can name 5 women off the top of my head of every color. So, like, I don't necessarily think that. I think there's a lot of gay writers. I think there's a lot of gay directors. I think there's a lot of people in the field who want to produce comedy.
Yeah.
But I think as far as straight up stand-ups, I don't think there's a lot of gay guys that want to do it and then also want to deal with how hard it is. I do not think that many faggots can handle it. I'm just sorry. Like, it ain't for sissies, and you kind of can't be one. Like, it's tough. And you need, like, straight guys with, like, no education to respect you as a man. And you can't have your feelings hurt. You just have to handle shit.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, that's one hell of an intro. Jess, to my right, extraordinaire, the very lovely, talented. If you wouldn't mind letting the people know a little bit about yourself, your name, where you come from, how long you been in the game?
Well, my name is Jessica Lenai. Been in the game. Well, born
What's
and raised.
the name of your game, by the way?
Well, I produce comedy shows. I also do photography at events, comedy shows, and all that other stuff. But I'm from Chicago, born and raised on the South Side, South Shore to be exact, 79th and South Shore, stand up.
So you over east.
Yeah,
Well,
one of them East Side crazies.
Yeah, them definitely are. All my craziest stories in the city.
But yeah, I've been around comedy pretty much all my life, but and I've been a fan of comedy my entire life. But I started working at the Laugh Factory in 2018, and then stopped working there in 2021 of October 2021, and then just from there, just been doing photography and producing shows. I used to produce for Chronic Labs that recently ended.
Shout out Chronic Labs.
I know. I miss them so much. I miss our Sunday morning meetings. We used to have like long ass Sunday morning meetings talking about a lot of stuff. But ultimately, we just decided to part ways because like I saw a vision for us that they just didn't really see. So it was just like, well, why don't we just like, I can't tell you, like I hyperventilated. I was like freaking out, crying because I was just like, what am I going to do? I don't have any ties to this anymore. But then I was like, oh, just take the opportunities that are coming to you and then just use those. And so from there, like I'm producing a show at the Emporium called Stick to Comedy.
Okay.
It's going to be like a mix of like dumb family games and stand-up comedy. So our first show is going to be May 31st. It's going to be with Vic Pandia.
Oh, nice.
Shout out Vic.
And Jamal Gershon.
Oh,
Okay, shout out Jamal.
I love them. I love both of them. So like they were the first people that came to mind. I was like, they're both
Yeah.
goofy as hell. I need to have them on.
Oh,
So,
certainly are.
yeah.
And so you worked behind the scenes for Chronic Labs, and I popped up on one of the shows, saw you doing
Several.
your photography thing too. Yeah, absolutely. And then also you were working at the factory, kind of behind the scenes. So normally, like in comedy business, you're like you're the talent or whatever. You're just showing up, you're doing your thing, and then you're kicking rocks, right? Working in it as it's a job, like an actual, like you're filing taxes on it. How is that different than being?
Producing the show or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
being a fan.
Does that take the fun out of the funny?
It kind of did. It really did because like when you get to learn and know the people behind the laughs, it changes your mentality about it. It changes the way that you look at it. But fortunately for me, I've been able to still maintain contacts with some real ass people in the industry, in the game. And I support them, they support me. And that's all that really matters. Like for example, Matt, I feel like ever since like we've exchanged numbers, we've talked like almost every single day. I remember during the pandemic, we talked like almost every single day.
Always
so like,
something.
yeah, always something. A dumb meme, a stupid song, just calling just to see how each other are doing.
Niggas
And-
ain't shit.
Right, and it's
Always
like I
something.
can count on like maybe one hand how many people like I actually fucked with, versus the many people that I actually know. Because like when you get to know the actual character of a person, it makes you be like, yeah, you're funny, but I don't like you.
Oh yeah. No, definitely. And it's sometimes not really vice versa, but there's definitely some people that they get on stage and I'm like, oh, I can rock with that. And as soon as they get off stage, I'm like, ooh.
Well, I think how you treat people says a lot about your talent. Because,
Yeah.
like, I don't really think a really secure, talented, confident person. Well, I think I'm being a dickhead to everybody because they don't have anything to prove. They're there to, like, go to work and have a good time and be with other like talented people. But someone who's trying to prove something, who's like, I don't really deserve to be here. I need to make a scene. I need to do something. These people that don't quite got it or don't feel that they have it, they're more likely to be a bigger problem.
Do you think dickheads know they're dickheads? Like, do you think
Sometimes.
Kanye's sitting in the chair sometimes going, "Wow"?
Kanye has to.
He has to know that he's an asshole.
You can't look at somebody and say, "I'm God, I told you," and have no idea.
Kanye definitely knows he's an asshole. He made a song about being an asshole. What was that? Was it Runaway? It's like a whole verse in there. He definitely talked about it.
But does he know like that? What's the situation with that little love triangle right now?
Oh no, that's crazy.
So fill me in, because I get the outside of it. So there's the Pete.
He keeps like harassing Skeet Davidson. Is what keeps happening.
Now that's a pass around. Every time I look up, he with a different bitch.
Oh,
Shout out SNL.
He is community
He's the white
dick.
Nick Cannon who knows how to pull out.
Community dick. Yes. Oh my god.
He is the white Nick Cannon with like fucking motor reflexes to pull out.
Yo, did you see
is
that
it.
Nick Cannon was just like, yeah, I'm looking into vasectomies. Like, yeah, motherfucker, you should have did that on your fifth
It's
child.
about time you had a doctor look at that dick instead of all these fucking strippers from fucking Orlando.
Seriously.
It is about
all the
time.
people we lost from COVID, he's seriously repopulated.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
For real.
Is
It's
there
like, come on now.
is there a limit on if you're a guy, you're making mega bucks? Is there a limit on how many kids you could pop out there, or is it like, hey, if you could take care of them?
Yes.
Go for
No,
it.
because the thing is, there's no guarantee you're going to be able to take care of these kids forever. Your shit
Right.
can disappear tomorrow, and
Right.
then you've got 36 kids all named Your Majesty or whatever.
George.
And,
Yes.
and we have like real problems out here.
Yes.
You got a daughter named Crystal Chandelier.
Seriously.
I can't eat because you got to feed that motherfucker.
Precisely. And then also you have to worry about like you have 8 different mothers with child support. Like it all adds up. There's no one can sustain to like give birth to a fucking like football team.
It
What
should
is
seriously
Kim-
be like China?
What is Kim Kardashian's legacy going to be ultimately? Just a boss chick that went out, got it, stood on her
I feel
own,
like
made
her-
mega bucks?
I feel like her reputation is changing because I just watched this video about Kim Kardashian, just period, because like earlier on in her career, she was always a plus one. Now, like, because think about it, Kanye said that she was like one of the most important people of the generation, and he basically made it his goal to make her like a fashion icon. Like, remember, like
He dressed her for a decade.
he literally cleared out everything in her closet and put stuff in there. And then also she got the cover of Vogue with him. She was his plus one on the cover of Vogue. And then fast forward a couple of years later, then she's on the cover by herself. And then also she's being invited to the Met Gala, not as a plus one, but as somebody who can then bring on the plus one, i.e. Pete Davidson. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's in Marilyn Monroe's dress.
Which disgusting.
Wow.
That was wild to me.
Oh, wow.
Now I went to school to study fashion, and like that was one of my many majors. That was mind blowing to me. I was like, first of all, this is this like you can't just do a replica. Like you have to wear this dress.
You have
First
to
of all, she
stretch the shit out of some dress.
wasn't even stretched. Did you see the back of that dress? They fucked the dress up. The original dress, they fucked it
Because
up.
that material, that kind of silk, they do not make anymore.
They don't. They don't. So they literally destroyed a piece of history just to put it on her ass. Now, if that's
to
not
wrap it around
iconic shit,
a
I don't
Brazilian
know.
butt lift.
Because they literally sewed that dress onto Marilyn Monroe in 1962. Like that was custom fit to her fucking skin, and they matched the material to be the same color as her skin. They wanted it to look like she was naked and covered in diamonds. That dress was built to go on one person and then be in a museum. That's literally what it was supposed to do.
It was literally it's a piece of art, and
Sound like a hot.
that's what it was supposed to be. And she destroyed it just to walk on the red carpet, and then not to even keep it on for the whole night.
No. And you know on the inside of it, there's nothing but fucking spray tan. You know it's fucking all orange
God,
and shit
but-
on the inside from her body makeup.
Oh, you got a Jersey Shore stain on there?
Of course.
I'm like, look, it's ways to be iconic, but to destroy a piece of history, that's not a way. I feel
Blows
like
my
that's
mind.
very stupid.
Is any given week, if I'm going around the city, I will see a literal Kardashian clone. It may not look like Kim, but it looks like one of them. Where and I mean, authentically looks. Some gal is looking
Some gal.
exactly like one of the Kardashians. It's
Well,
a,
'cause
it's
they
a
don't really look
movement.
like people anymore.
They don't. Have you seen what's that child's name?
Chloe.
The one with the face.
Yeah, the one with
Is that the youngest
OJ's
one?
daughter who got her nose taken off.
You know
That
that's
is OJ's daughter.
no, it's
That is
not.
OJ Simpson's
No, did you
daughter.
see? Did you see the mom, Chris? Did you see her hairdresser from back in the day? When I tell you,
Was he black
twins-
too?
No, he's not black, but he's like, she's built like him, like square boxy. The bitch is
She's built like a Buffalo
refrigerator.
Bill. That's OJ's daughter.
She's you motherfucker.
Help me. Would you?
That is a Buffalo Bill. If
You
I've
saying
ever
that bitch
seen
is
one.
Trojan strong?
She
You're
is.
so fucking stupid.
The shoulders on that woman.
Would you help me?
Oh my god.
So help me. So tell you what. Help me. Not that you're the know all. Not that you can enter yourself into somebody's brain. Yeah. Who's the dad? The Jenner.
Bruce or
Bruce.
Kaitlyn.
So, and I don't really know too much of the story, but all was she struggling whole life with
She was
identity
struggling for like 30 years. Because like apparently the second wife or the third, because Chris is like wife number 4, I think.
Okay.
Like the second or third wife like saw him cross-dressing, and then he was taking hormones for a little bit when he was like on his way out with the other one. She's like, oh, she saw him get out of the shower and she's like, you have tits. So
Whoa.
like when Bruce Jenner was Bruce Jenner, he was going through a lot of shit.
Wow.
And Kaitlyn Jenner doesn't seem to be going through any less.
Wow. Because the
now
the
she's just
team
politically crazy.
the TMZ narrative in my mind, just from my point of view, is that all them Kardashian bitches drove him crazy. Now all of a sudden, woo,
No.
woo, woo.
No, he showed up like
No,
that.
you don't
think-
just one day just be like, oh, I'm a woman. That's like a
No, it takes 30 years.
That's like a lifetime thing.
Well, unless you were born 9 years ago, then now it's just an instant process, and you tell your mom I feel funny, and then you just go to the doctor and they cut everything off. But
But no, I mean it's all it's all biology. Like, if there's so many different types of like things when it comes to science.
there's a
like,
lot of varieties.
There's
of this human animal.
genetics is like it's just weird. Science
yeah.
is just weird, and like it's so many animals out here in the wild that can like change gender and change sex like that if they want to. They can also reproduce with themselves.
asexually. Yeah.
So like,
Earthworms.
I mean, it's honestly, why can't humans also do it? Like, I mean, people say like all the time, especially when it comes to queer situations, like, oh, well, I don't see gay animals. You see gay animals
Yeah,
all
no, there are
the
tons of gay
time.
animals. There are hundreds and hundreds of species
All
of
the
gay
time.
animals.
Penguins are fucking each other all the time. That was some of the shit that they had to cut out of like the March of Penguins.
Perverted penguins.
Like, honestly, okay, so back in the day, there was some scientist, I can't think of his name, but anyway, he took a trip down to Antarctica, excuse me. And he watched these penguins for like a couple of weeks, and like what he journaled, he took it back to wherever he was from, and they literally could not use any of it because the image of penguins in their head were like these beautiful, fluffy, funny little things in suits.
Just waddle
They were
around.
out here. They were raping each other, fucking carcasses. Like they were just crazy, and also like
They don't care.
they did not care. It was literally the Wild Wild West out there, but in Antarctica. But the thing that's so funny about it is that like it's all about image. It's all about like we've been programmed to think that things are a certain way, and it's really not. Like, honestly, I feel like there's so much that we don't know about the world. We don't know about sexuality. Because shit, I'm still learning stuff about myself. And like I said earlier, I'm a middle-aged Black woman, or almost middle-aged. I'm 39. So, but like
Your pussy's been on the pavement for a minute. Is what you're trying to say.
but I'm still learning things about this pussy on the pavement. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So like who are we to say what actually is,
Oh yeah.
there's
no definitive.
There's
Okay.
not, when it comes to life on this earth, it's not just black or white. It's always a gray area.
Is there an age?
Is there an age where you just like you got to just handle it and get over it?
So I want to say actually I think there's like a show on TLC or Netflix or something coming out where it's like the like kids that do beauty pageants, like cross-dress beauty pageants or what have you. And I want to say as well, there's like there's also questions about, all right, so let's say you have a child that says, all right, hey, I identify as XYZ. I want to start going through the motions to change my gender. Is there an age in either one of y'all's minds where it's like you have to wait until this age before you start making that decision?
First of all, I think it's weird to put any kid in a beauty pageant. I don't care if they're trans
Fair
or whatever.
enough.
I think that's fucking weird.
It's sexualizing a child.
Very much so.
Jean Benet.
Exactly.
Listen.
And then as far as like, is there an age? I don't know. Like, do you have kids?
I have a son, yeah.
You have a son? Okay. There's like an age where like you're willing to ask them certain questions because like it's reasonable, and then there's sometimes where you just like prescribe shit because they can't.
Sure.
Like you don't ask a 4-year-old what they want for dinner because it's not up to them.
Fair enough.
You might ask a 12-year-old, "What do you want to do this weekend?" You know what I'm saying? You don't ask a 4-year-old, "What do you want to do this week?" Like, it's just like, what's an appropriate question to ask a child?
Right.
Like, what can they reasonably answer and assess? You just have to be reasonable about that.
Yeah, there's definitely growing up. There was definitely, kids. You know who was gonna be the jock. You know who was gonna was into art. Who was into this, and you know the kid that has a proclivity to if
you
he's
were
a
funny,
guy,
we
then
knew
he
in
likes to hang out with it.
kindergarten.
Yeah. So if you have a child, right, and you're like, all right, I think my son identifies as a girl, and it's a clear path that is going down there. Is there an age like 18, 21 before you start assisting with that? 16, or is it just like because I definitely vibe with your analogy, but you know what I mean? Like, is there a because I think parents can start. Can parents start helping with like gender assignments like whenever they want?
I don't think you can do that before you reach the age of puberty or before you stop developing. I don't think you can. And like I do know that there are some people. There's also there's some doctors that won't do gender reassignment surgery until like a certain age, so you can't do that. Right. But I feel like people should just really just let their children just be children, regardless of how they identify. I think that like they just really just let your child be a child. If your child wants to pick up a doll and play with a fucking doll, let your child pick up a doll and play with the doll, because we don't need any more. What is that child's name? Was it Gabriel Hernandez? That child who was beaten to death because his parents thought that he was gay, or his stepfather thought that he was gay, or whatever. It's like we don't need any situations. Like just let your child be a child, because until your child starts having sex, that is when you need to start you need to start just having like open and honest conversations with your children about stuff. Like my mother talked to me about sex at an early age because I don't know if you remember this, but that whole situation.
Jessica was fine when she was 12.
Apparently she had boobs in gym class.
But no, there was this little girl. She went by the name Little Girl X. You remember that situation?
Little Girl X.
In Cabrini Green. Well, her mother's. I know it's dark.
Yeah.
Her mother's stepfather. I mean, her mother's boyfriend, beat her and raped her or something like that, and then left her for dead in the stairwell. And it was a big story in Chicago because people were just like, "What the fuck? Like, what's going on in these projects?" And my mother, that was around the time I was coming of age, and actually, she and I, the Little Girl X, we were about the same age, and so my mother pretty much had to explain to me what sex was, when I was young. And I feel like a lot of parents, it shouldn't be a tragic situation for your parents to talk to your child about sex. It's like, and use actual words, use vulva and vagina, use penis and testicles,
well, the other
to
really
teach
fucked up
your
thing
children
about that situation is your mom had to explain what sex was to you and rape at the same time,
which
should not
rape and child molestation and all that shit. But thank God I had that conversation with her, though, although the circumstances surrounding the situation was not ideal for anybody.
Sure.
What it did was it opened my eyes to a whole world out there that I didn't know. And it wasn't like I was going out there just because my mother talked to me about sex at a young age. I knew what was right and what was not right. I knew what I was ready for and what I was not ready for. But I think that like when it comes to sexuality, I think that like when people start to educate their children on what it is and what sex is and what sexuality is, I think that like that's when, you need to have those personal conversations with your child. Like, don't ask them what you like, because hell, when I was in kindergarten, I had a little boyfriend, and he turned out to be the gayest gay person I've ever met in my entire life. He's so gay.
Full circle.
He's literally the gayest man I've ever met. He's gone through he did drag. He did transitioning. He even prostituted himself for a little bit, but I still stayed in contact with him.
He sold that coochie cat.
Sprinkled in prostitution.
He was out here doing it, but at the same time, his situation happened because he was not educated about it. And I had the same conversation with him too. Like, do you think that, like, if your mother would have taught you, about sexuality or sex or sexuality earlier, that you probably would have not be gay, but like go the route that you went? And he said, no, absolutely not. But he's a survivor. When I say, like, education of all forms is important, like, I always remember him. And if I ever have children, hopefully I'll remember that, and I'm not walking on eggshells leading up to a conversation when it comes to, sex and sexuality with my child.
Well, because the thing we have to deal with is the fact, like, okay, it was hard enough for, like, you to watch your friend go through that and to just, like, be an adult, like, next to him while he's figuring his shit out. Our parents had no words to even talk about any of this stuff, to deal with this stuff with us. Like, they knew it was out there in the world because they're adults, but they, like, it's hard for us to talk about. You're scared of having that conversation with your child. Like, that level of just like frozen paralysis of just, like, not knowing what to do.
Did you have a good support system?
Being gay was not the issue in my family. Being black was the bigger issue. I come from Appalachian white trash, and I was marked before I had a limp wrist.
As soon as they saw that kinky hair, they was like, "Oh, what the hell is going on?" I was
telling Jessica about this. I did not know what color or texture my hair was till I was 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
Because they shaved my shit every week till I got out of there.
That's powerful. That's powerful. So you're also you're on the comedy side,
of course.
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, I love him.
Of course.
Love him, and I love the special that everyone got mad at. If they got upset with that, they weren't fucking listening. That was a tribute to the
that's
gay
a lot of
community.
Comedy fans.
Yeah, they don't know how to listen. They don't know how to
listen. They like being told when to laugh. Oh, that was hilarious. No, I bet you it wasn't.
Yeah, that's why I insist on my style being very conversational. I'm not going to lean in and point to everybody where the laugh is. You're smart. You're with me. We're hanging out. Come join the party.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that special was a tribute to gay and trans people. I mean, the closing song was "I Will Survive." Like, come the fuck on.
Sure.
Like, that was a decision of the production end that like this is a tribute. He was talking about his friend. He was talking about someone who worked closely with and cared a lot about this. I don't really, and some of the things that he said, if you excuse the trans stuff, the things that he said about gay guys made me laugh my ass off. And he's like, remember when gay guys in the 80s were all surprised all the time?
Yeah.
That's stupid as hell, but it's funny.
So, and then I don't know how far back you go on your comedy research. So if you watch like Eddie Murphy Raw, Eddie Murphy Delirious.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a van on the roof going wee 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 woo. If you look back at those times, or if you look back at Def Comedy Jam times, if you look back at a time where it was all right, we're gay bashing and look, I mean, definitely, I'm getting there long in the tooth. So for a time, and there's an argument where you say, well, I didn't mean it to talk down on gay people when I'm using these words or these terms and whatnot, right? I'm just saying it because that's what everybody else was saying. But if you flip it around and toss the N-word in there, and it's just some Korean kid going, I'm not meaning to, call you that. I'm just I still might feel some kind of way. When you look back at those older times, does that make you feel some kind of way? Are things getting better? Or does it make a difference?
Well, I think it's the biggest false equivalency in the world to say that, like, faggot and nigger are the same impact.
Yeah,
like, that's just
fair enough.
No. I don't think so whatsoever. When I look back at those old specials, I fucking laugh. It's funny. It is fucking funny because you have to look at it not from the point of I'm in 2022 and I have all this education and I know all this shit, but from 1996 with the way the world was. Sure. Is that or is that not fucking funny when you take into circumstance like the setting, the place, who we're dealing with? Like, I mean, you could say that it's fucking self-hating. You could say that it's like a example of like black self-hate. That Chris Tucker joke where he's like, "No, we're never gonna have a black president because a nigga would never have security. He won't carry his own gun.
He have his own gun.
Like, you could say that, like, you shouldn't laugh at that as a black person who's seen Barack Obama succeed.
Yeah.
Or you can fucking laugh at a goddamn joke because you have a sense of humor. Like,
Absolutely.
fuck.
I feel like now, like woke culture, while I do consider myself an educated person, I would not say I'm a woke person because woke people have, in my opinion, they have no sense of humor. It's like,
It's a badge of
really-
honor to be humorless. For them to not laugh at anything and to be upset by everything is a badge of honor.
oh my God. Oh my God. And
that
you,
term just feels it feels vice principal-y.
I was about to go off on some comedians who consider themselves woke.
You can't be. That's
With
an
no
oxymoron.
goddamn jokes in the arsenal.
Not a one.
Empty notebook, just MSNBC
And
bullet
then just be
points.
booking. Anyway, so how you doing?
Don't do that because that's an ugly rabbit hole to fall into.
Listen. I know. I've been there.
So, all right, so we went off, right? But now I have to bring it back to something concrete, something extremely serious.
Okay.
Something that's on the minds of millions. Is Meg Thee Stallion lying?
No. No, she's not lying.
She got shot in the foot.
I really do think that she got shot in the foot.
I personally cannot, like, she can lie to me or tell me the truth. I don't know. I'm just staring at her ass. I'm obsessed
Fair
with
enough.
her ass.
She's giving me traumatized
She
teeth.
can tell me whatever she wants.
She's giving me traumatized.
She really is. Like, I mean, did you see that interview? Like, I really did. I was like, because at first I was like, I don't know. I don't care. I just know that, like, you know, I wasn't a fan of, like, what was his name? Tory Lanez or whatever.
Sure.
That-
Canadian kid.
Can you imagine
big
fucking a
forehead
grown-ass
having-
black man named Tory? I would just die.
But
He
who's
is
doing the
so
Yosemite Sam dance? Bye. Who's seriously doing that?
I wouldn't put it
real
past
life?
nobody. Some of the kindest people that you know that smile in your face do the most evil shit when nobody's seeing.
I'll tell you what. I don't care about the Johnny Depp whatchamacall. I'd rather
We
have,
were just talking about
I'd rather
that
have
shit.
this. I'd rather have this trial recorded and put on. Put it on right after Power. I want to see how it plays out.
Megan Thee Stallion, wherever you are, I've been gay for a long time. I'll eat your ass through a straw.
That's a lot of booty.
I will just
a lot of
suck that
natural
ass right through a
too.
straw.
Oh God.
Whatever it takes, wherever you are.
Got
Just
strong
know.
shoulders. She might. She might run that one.
Listen,
I'm gonna leave some lipstick where it's gonna stick. Okay, I will.
That's one gorgeous, beautiful, like natural bodied woman.
Truly.
Like she is what the Kardashians wish
Absolutely.
they were.
They absolutely wish they were all 5'11" and built like that. 100%.
Especially the one that's actually built like that, but don't look like that.
Especially OJ's baby. God bless her.
God damn.
Oof.
I can't with you.
Ooh. How is? Cause I mean, she's gonna be. Is she the number one out right now? When it comes down to it.
You talk Megan?
Yeah.
When it comes down to what, rap?
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause
Nicki-
for
Nicki
whatever
Minaj
reason-
I mean,
will
well,
shoot
Cardi B
you.
is still out here.
For whatever reason, there cannot be a group of ladies winning all at the same time in a group, like just all dominating. It feels like it has to be like one and then the
Well,
rest.
'cause, like, in the
Well,
late-
Cardi B and Megan are still cool, and they did a
Yeah.
song together.
Yeah.
They did WAP.
That is right. Well, shut my mouth.
Yeah,
That's dope.
they
that they're
did
bringing
WAP,
it
and that
together.
was a moment.
That's a whole.
I'm
That's a whole movement.
convinced-
People still say it.
I'm convinced down to like every fucking toe in my shoes. If Cardi B was a man, no one would let her say the N-word. I am convinced. If she
Really?
was just some
Yeah.
fucking Dominican guy who is that pale who had two Hispanic-looking parents,
She's an Afro Dominican though.
look at both of her parents and show me an afro.
Look at that nappy ass hair. Her hair look like yours. Yes,
I
it
don't know about that.
does.
She looked.
Maybe-
No, her
straight.
hair look.
When she was a little kid without any
You're talking about the
conditioner, maybe.
wigs that she wears. She has
Fair enough.
I
nappy
have
ass
seen pictures
hair.
of both
Fair
of her
enough.
parents. They're no.
Yeah, she definitely looks Spanish in a little bit. But you know what? Fat Joe gets away with it nonstop.
Fat
all
Joe
the
don't
time.
get away with shit.
Sinbad got away with the world.
Sinbad.
Bah.
Does Sinbad even use the word nigga? I just
I
wonder.
hope.
He's got the cleanest comedy, but one of my favorite specials of all time when he was in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, no, Sinbad was
I saw him live like
That's hilarious.
twice with my mom at Chicago Theater. We've always
Killed it.
Yo, Sinbad is one of those people who like
He puts on a whole production, like a whole show.
But it wasn't that type of party that time. It was like it was just him and the stage. I don't even think he had the opener. I think he just went on stage and performed.
Probably did an
and
hour
I
and a
believe
half.
I believe the show was supposed to be an hour and a half. That nigga didn't get off the stage. We had to leave. I was like, damn, I gotta go to work in the morning, Sinbad.
I'm crying.
He didn't want to leave.
He did. You think he did over 2 hours?
Had to, because we were in that motherfucker for the longest time. In the Chicago theater. This was like, I was, at the time, I think I was working at Macy's at the time. So like, yeah.
I've always admired people who can keep that up.
What?
Keep like
That
be
stamina?
on stage for 2 hours, 2 hours
That's
plus.
and then going the whole time, actually, like.
And everything
like
was really
dragging it
funny
out.
too. It was. You know how like sometimes you have like low points in the show, and people like they're trying to get the audience back, and so they just throw out a joke. He kept going the whole time and was talking to people in the audience and had jokes on jokes on jokes. That's somebody who can still perform and probably should still be selling out to this day.
A current low point in just the world is, I think, is there a scandal on the BLM movement?
Oh, you talking about the
yeah.
misappropriation?
Misappropriations of funding.
She wanted a house in Pacific Palisades.
Why
Leave her
wouldn't
alone.
she?
Listen,
Why wouldn't
Leave her
she?
alone.
listen. No, why would people don't no. No, why would people donate money to BLM? It started off as a hashtag, and I don't understand it. I've never understood it. Like, I mean, I'm a black woman. I do believe that Black Lives Matter, but I don't think that it should have been an organization. I felt like it should have been a movement, like Black Power was a movement. You know, like I don't think that should have been an organization, because when money gets involved, and we've seen this when it came to the NOI and Malcolm X, it just does not work out. We've seen it, and we've seen how like little shit like that, like the government can then come in and be like, okay, well, this is actually happening. So good luck with your socializing, your socialism or whatever, and then like go off and then have everybody looking at the source like, bitch, what the fuck? And that's exactly what happened when it came to this whole BLM thing.
You know what just blew my mind?
What?
That she put in context is that BLM literally started off as a hashtag, and then it became like a conglomerate.
It did, and it didn't need to be. It just should have stayed a movement.
Holy moly. All right, give me 1 second. You guys keep the party rocking. I'll be right back.
What are we going to talk about, Matt?
I don't know. I think we should probably talk about how young and beautiful we both are. Like, I mean, now that we got, the straight men out of the room, we can just bask in our own beauty for a moment. Because, when we primp around them, they get excited, they sleep with 1, 2, 3,000 women, and then suddenly, every time they see a titty, everyone's all
3?
excited.
I can see 1 or 2, but 3.
I don't know, small village. I don't know. You gotta go visit. You gotta say hello. How are you? I'm fucking everybody.
Oh Lord.
And then you come back next year and say hello to your children. I don't know. If I was straight, I'd have like 187 kids.
I can definitely see you pulling a bunch of straight bitches.
You have no idea what I was doing in high school and in fucking college. There was this dude who was like fully like straight with a girlfriend. I shit you not. I used to like blow him like freshman year of college just because like whatever. Mm-hmm. His girlfriend. You want me to fill that back up? Oh yes, please. His girlfriend found out, broke up with him. Mm-hmm. He got mad at her, not at me.
Power up the D.
Like, blessed is he who comes in the name of Miss Brown. Like, truly.
The character of Miss Brown, the origins, explain.
Oh, yeah, the orange is my stage character because to our lovely video audience, I do not look like this most of the time. In my private life, I wear no makeup, there is no suit jackets, and I'm busy smoking cools in my apartment because I'm an old fucking black man. That is just the bottom line of it. I'm like,
you're over it.
I'm over it. I'm exhausted. I'm mixed, but my lungs are 100% black. So you're asking about the origins of my stage character, how like the makeup and all the clothes started to happen.
Oh my God.
It was weird. It happened over a period of like months and years.
That tickled me. I'm halfway. But my lungs are 100% black. Life? No, he said he's half black, but his lungs are 100% black.
Mm-hmm. I've been smoking cool since I was 17. I don't fuck
Cools.
I
what is this? 1986.
I smoke Cool Blue 100s.
Oh Lord.
Like a pack a day. I'm not fucking around.
Oh Lord.
I love nicotine.
The one time I smoked a cigarette, I got pneumonia, and I've never smoked a cigarette again.
I smoked cigarettes when I had pneumonia because I was like, listen, these lungs have been through it. We're just going to get over it
fair
faster.
enough.
And then I found out during COVID that if you smoke cigarettes, it was supposed to be like protección. Or like, or I can't remember if it was cigarettes or weed that were supposed to help protect you.
I think they were saying like cigarettes plug the holes that COVID's trying to sneak into or something to that effect. But wait, so you didn't do cigarettes, so that means you didn't did you venture off into any other kind of illicit substances?
Did I smoke weed? Is that what you mean?
No, I don't know. Everybody smokes weed. But did you do any other kind of
Just
any
like crack?
fun drugs?
I mean, crack. Oh my God, it takes me back. No, I never did. I never
recognize
did.
the smell, but not the flavor.
I really do because I grew up next door to a crack house, so I do know the smell of crack.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a
they
very
used sometimes the
weird-
crackheads used to knock on our door. It was like, no, you want next door.
It's a very weird chemical smell.
It really
it's
is.
hard to explain.
It
It's
smells like
to me, it
gasoline,
smells
but nail
like-
polish remover.
See, I thought it smelled like burnt popcorn.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. It's just
Like
very
burnt
chemical.
cheesy popcorn.
Because burnt popcorn, I get like a burnt butter smell, and that's very different. That's
It is
very
like a
different.
chemically smell. It always reminded
does.
me not bleach, but like some kind of clean, like Comet, not Comet, but you know, like one of those.
Yeah.
I just remember back when we still lived in Springfield, my sister was a social worker at this hospital, and she called me on her lunch break, and she never did that because I was in fucking high school. So it's like, what's that big of a deal? She's like, Matt, I had to fucking call security because this family was smoking crack in a patient's room in the ICU. I just walked by and I smelled it, and I'm like, I'm not in middle school. Like she's like, I'm not back at home. This is weird. And they were
Of all
literally-
places, they couldn't even go to the back in the alley. They had to stay.
ICU.
They had to stay right there in the hospital. Was it snowing? Like
I just
what was
think
it?
that's so funny because it's like my sister didn't even work at the ICU, so she was just walking down a hallway, probably trying to find a
And smelled the
bathroom or a
crack.
vending machine, and she's like, "Oh fuck, I have to do paperwork now."
Oh.
Like,
Whole time I've definitely seen on my timeline some folks that is getting it in the paternity ward. Like as soon as Shorty pops the baby out, Buddy's right back in there. Like not even
How
waiting
do
there
you
6
do
weeks.
it's a wound. It's a wound down there.
It literally is.
You have a child. You know what happens. It's not cute after a while. You need a few weeks to go recover. You just went through a major trauma. You can't just stick your dick in a bloody fucking discharge-filled pussy. You cannot do that.
You
So
need to
it's
learn how
just-
to make a wet Susie or something.
You can't tell me that's
Wet
fun.
Susie, how many times you been to prison?
How many niggas I know that been to prison? You don't know my family, dog. My family is full of goons. Okay.
I don't know about Wet Susie.
Oh,
Is that when you fuck a sponge that was in the microwave?
they make them out of anything.
You
but
tied the two hospital gloves together?
yeah,
Yeah. See, this
But
is-
just teach them how to do that, and just make it like as tight as your coochie.
Some
But
people in here Googling.
it's gonna be a picture of a wet Susie behind us.
someone's fighting with a girl and don't want to text her back.
Wet Susie. Can we make her black?
I didn't find out about that till watching Lock Up. Because when I was a kid, I used to love Lock Up because they had, Fleece the Booty Warrior.
Fleece the
Remember
booty
him?
warrior.
I love Booty. That motherfucker was so funny.
Booty was more important than food. Booty was more important than water.
Than water.
I would knock a nigga over to get to some booty.
No. Who was
Yeah.
Buddy that was like in like Scared Straight or what? He was like, I like you. I want you.
That's the Booty Warrior. That's the Booty Warrior. Fleece Johnson. Didn't he get out?
Yes, Fleece Johnson's a free
He
man.
is out here
Stop
in
it.
these streets. Yes, in Kentucky, child.
He is clapping cheeks in these streets.
He's
Stop
taking
it.
booty.
Wherever you find it.
Shit. Gas is
Gotta be damn near a
booty
celebrity.
snatching prices now. so you never
Seriously,
know.
gas $6 a gallon, so you better just, find somebody thick and jump on top.
Listen,
So wait, is this trial that Johnny Depp is in? Does somebody have a chance of going to prison? Speaking of,
no, it's all about money.
Yeah.
He's basically suing her for defamation for like destroying his career.
And what is she suing him for? Like her Aquaman money?
It's just like it's retaliation or
Okay.
what did it say? Countersuing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if they both just agree to like fucking just like jump off a building? Like they need to just like both be in separate continents.
can't lose Johnny
and
Depp.
not-
No.
I think we already got everything we need out of him.
No,
honey.
we didn't.
What do you
he's
want out of Johnny
starting.
Depp?
He's not the same old Johnny.
I already
What
know.
are you talking about? He's not the same old Johnny. Just because he gained weight, but doesn't mean that he can't lose it and then just
Either
bring
like
it
he
right
definitely
back.
had a hell of a life.
Jessica.
Yo, I mean, yeah, the motherfucker was living in Hollywood in the 80s and 90s. Yes.
What's eating Gilbert Grape, Jessica? What's eating him?
I don't know, but
Are we gonna get another performance
whatever it
like
was
that?
shat on his pillow. Like,
That
what
is-
the fuck?
Okay, don't act like you've never been that mad before. Has it
I've
crossed your
been
mind?
that mad, but I've never been mad enough to. First of all, that reminds me of Tiffany Haddish's book when she talked about shitting in a nigga's shoe. No, my shit is always for the toilet. It's never for just like random objects, especially a bed that I gotta sleep on.
There's some people into some wild stuff.
Oh yeah,
I would never be into scat play.
Yeah, a lot of people are into that. I disagree. I'm vehemently against it.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
When like as a grown ass man who fucks other grown ass men, sometimes you're gonna deal with a little shit. But like I don't seek it out.
That's
don't
why I
look
think
for
that you
it.
guys aren't that squeamish. That's why I feel like y'all are up to talk about everything because y'all see everything.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've been to my place. My apartment's filthy. I have no standards.
I didn't think it was filthy. I just thought it was a man's apartment.
Going against stereotypes.
There you go.
I just thought it was a man's apartment, but we sat up, we talked because it was after my breakup that we sat and talked.
We've both been there through each other through both of our niggas ain't shit moments. Because we both know very firmly that not one man on the face of this earth is shit. Not one.
Not
Like,
one
you're-
of them.
You're
Not
sweet,
even
You're
Jesus.
adorable. You're a great podcast host, talented comedian.
I've
Sorry.
definitely had a plenty of not shit moments in
So
my
let's
life.
talk about you. Let's talk about your whole moments.
My whole moments, they are far behind me.
Is there anything that you remember, and this could have been a girl you were fucking or a girl you were dating, but just a situation you look back on and you're just like, I really did that shit. Like I treated that woman like that. Like I fully did that. This could be from 1999, but like
99.
I was at the lowest point, probably one of the lowest points in my life, right before the genesis of my comedy career. I had ended up going to jail for some pettiness or whatever, and I was in jail for like almost 2 months.
Can I ask you a question?
But it was like traffic shit
No, can I ask you a question?
and being a general thug. What's that?
How many wetsuits did you have?
I tried to make one. That's neither here nor there.
he had a roommate.
No, the whole time I was in there, I didn't do nothing. It was such a bummer
your
being
willpower.
being around that many guys. I'll tell you what, when I came out, I could have busted a windshield with that shit. But goddamn, I was probably one of the worst things I ever did. I was a madam manager for about a week.
Nice.
It wasn't. It's a bummer. It is.
You don't
a
think being a
super-
pimp's fun?
Ugh. It was not. It's not. It's so sloppy. It's so bad. I actually feel bad. Like I feel like it's one of those things I have to like atone for.
So you don't think that you will ever take the route into becoming a pimp?
Now a manager of women in that scenario. So it's
okay.
not what it looks like in the movies. It's like somebody being like, "Hey, I'm scared. I'm this and that," and then you got to sit there. You're managing somebody's fear. You also have to take into context what led this person there, what kind of life they're living. Like the gal at the time, the last time I saw her, it was probably a couple of years ago or whatever. And I show up, I go to her apartment, and literally the moment I pull up to her apartment, this is a different state, this is Omaha. Literally within 2 minutes of me showing up to her apartment that night, hadn't seen her in a while, show up, a dude standing like where the front door is from us, he gets murdered right in front of us.
Whoa.
Get shot to death. I go in. This is happening. So I show up. Hey, haven't seen you in a long time. Bop, 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 bop. That guy dead. Car pulls off. Word. We jump hiding behind shit. Then I go into an apartment. We sit there, for the night or whatever. Next morning, wake up. Fire trucks out, the police and everybody was out that night. Fire truck wakes up, comes out in the morning, and they're flushing the rest of this brother that passed away. They're flushing the rest of his remains down the gutter and whatnot. And then I leave, come back to Chicago, and boom, that's the rest of her life. You know what I mean? That was like a moment in my life, and
But
then that's
she's still
boom.
living
That's
that
where
life.
she's staying, like with her auntie and like her kid and whatnot. And then so to take that in context, considering where we had been from, because I had known her for a long time. I knew about her past, her history, and all that other good stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that, haunts is probably a strong word, but it's like, I can't say I took advantage of her. I took advantage of the situation because it was something that I felt she probably would have ended up doing regardless. But for me to play a part in it, it just gives me, it's like a dark shadow.
So as the manager, you were like the middleman between the John and her?
I mean, yeah, basically.
Okay.
So I just don't, So I mean, this oof.
So was it like that old Richard Pryor joke where the white men come up to you with weird requests like, do you have bitches who'll cover you in ice cream and lick it off? Like, was it like that?
That's a crazy. I didn't spend I didn't spend no time really in it, but to hear stories afterwards, because I stayed in contact with her for a while, and like there's some weird people are into some weird.
Yeah, I actually got approached recently by somebody who I just did a photo shoot with. While in the middle of Click, she was just like, have you thought about being a dominatrix? And I was like, no. I was like, I think it might be interesting, but I never like actually thought about it, like sat down, and thought about it. Yeah. She's like, I don't know, but like, you might, I do it. And I also do submissive play too. Her main role, like basically she's in a throuple. So
throuple.
So one person she is submissive to. So she's his sub, but then she's someone else's dom. So in the throuple. And she's just like, well, if you ever want to take some pictures of some interesting things, you can always take some pictures of that. And I was like, I think I'm good. but
my portfolio was complete.
But another part of me was really like, it would be intriguing. So like while we were, while I was taking pictures of her, and I just started to try to like, pick her brain a little bit more about it. And she then started talking about like the scat play part of it.
Oh no.
She said piss and shit is a very big part of being a dom. Because the guys either want you to piss on them or shit on them.
Oh yeah.
Pictures are one thing, but you got to smell that in real life.
You do. And that's why she's hit me up a few times like, hey, I have this on Saturday, I have this on Wednesday, and I'm like, I gotta work. Yeah. Lovely woman, but I was just like, oh my God. And I have not posted her pictures yet, just in case anybody goes to my IG and be like, oh, she must be a dominatrix. I haven't posted her pictures.
There's a special place in my heart for photographers and like video people, camera people, just because if somebody does something incredible, like climbing to the top of Mount Everest, or they're down scuba diving with like great white sharks, or like an episode of Cops, or like, somebody jumps out of a plane, like whoever's being filmed is getting all the glory, but the cameraman's doing the exact same shit and getting they're just getting their name in the credits at the end.
But hopefully.
Maybe.
Yeah, some people use your stuff and don't give you credit.
Ooh. And if you're making adult films, you just have to sit there and like you're probably getting stains on your Adidas.
Oh
Not the Adidas.
You got to sit there and smell other people.
Okay, this is always what I think about because like when it comes to porn, I watch mostly straight porn.
Okay.
I don't need to see two gay dudes on top of each other.
You don't like to watch two gay dudes?
Oh, what do I want to watch real life for? That would be like
that's how I feel about straight
That'd
porn,
be like watching a show on TLC about a gay guy who smokes and read books in his apartment. Like, it was just, like, okay, but no. So I mostly watch straight porn. But what I always think about from the perspective of the photographer is that in like 80% of scenes where it's like a doggy situation, or like just most positions, there's someone whose full-time job is to just be zoomed in on a heterosexual man's asshole.
Right below the crack.
It's just right up in
don't
there.
want to see it.
And like, that's not a well-maintained golf course.
No, it's very hairy.
More often than not.
Very hairy. And then some men have dingleberries.
Yeah, a lot of men are afraid to wash the ass.
Like llamas?
A lot of men are very afraid.
The amount of men who do not wash their asshole is crazy.
I talk about this on stage.
Twitter is literally filled with straight men. Like, no, man, no man's supposed to put their hand back there. That's gay. It's your hand.
Wait, what? You're saying it's a hashtag like BLM?
I don't know how they self-identify.
I really don't know that. But
like,
honestly, you can look up unclean ass or
probably
gay.
won't.
I don't know.
I'm gonna take your word on that.
But no,
They go into what man put his hand in his ass? That's gay. Like I've literally seen like straight men on Twitter try to actually like justify not washing their asshole. Mm-hmm. Who raised you niggas? Like I don't understand that.
Nobody raised them.
Clearly,
nobody raised them. But like
I feel like I got mad passionate there because like I went out on a date recently with a guy. I can smell his balls, and he was like, how far you are away from me? I shouldn't be able to smell your balls.
There you go, fellas. Don't be an asshole. Clean your asshole.
I was like, I'm gonna stay single for another year because these motherfuckers don't know how to clean their nuts.
No, the way I talk about it on stage is like I got kicked off of Grindr, and so after I got banned. Yeah, no, I got banned from like the OG glory hole. I got banned. I can't go back. I have to get a new
Seems
phone.
difficult.
I have to get a new phone and a new Apple ID to get back
new
in.
IP address.
Oh yeah, truly.
What did you? How do you get banned from Grindr? I see dicks on there all the time.
I fucked everybody.
Oh, okay.
I fucked
so it's
everybody.
like nobody left in Chicago.
No, well, my Tinder is like I fucked everybody, and so like no one shows up anymore because I literally fucked everybody. But then my Grindr, I was trying to sell weed on there, and they had rules that week.
Just that week.
Yeah, because like people sell like pussy and OnlyFans on there every minute of the day, but I had like a saved message in like my profile, like so I could just send it automatically, being like need 420 with like some smoke and like a tree and a leaf or whatever.
Yeah.
And that got my account banned. And so after, but the reason that all connects is because like after I got banned off of Grindr, I found a lot about straight guys because I had to get a Reddit account. And that's when I found out that you guys don't wash your ass and you're afraid to go to the doctor because you think the doctor's going to finger you.
I'm definitely washing my ass.
Are you afraid to go to the doctor?
I have not got a prostate exam.
Are you afraid that when you go to the doctor over a benign issue that you're going to get fingered by everybody in the office? Because that's the number one male fear. They think the doctor...
They think that everybody's like, whoop.
They think the doctor, the nurse, the receptionist, a medical student, and then the other person who's getting their prostate looked at in the next room all get to take turns.
I think they're probably
every man's
afraid.
fear is you might have COVID. Bend over.
But isn't that where like the best orgasm is for men? Is in the asshole? So
Supposedly.
they're probably like, oh my
Take
god.
word on that.
If your prostate's in your ass, no one's found mine, and I'm not looking
Especially-
anymore.
Fair
So
enough.
I
Especially
don't
if you
want
got
to
a
know.
cut dick, you ain't getting no.
I don't want to know.
I'm not going for it.
No.
I told you my analogy for that is cocaine. I never started to use cocaine because I just feel like I probably like it too much, and then boom, I'm an 8-ball in.
There you
so
go.
I can't go with the prostate play.
No.
Like at some point, you will get a prostate exam, correct?
But that doesn't mean he's going to enjoy it.
I might just fall out one.
That doesn't mean he's going to enjoy it. It's not like he's going to like.
No,
he's not going to
gonna
rock his hips
I might
back
just
on
be-
the doctor's hand.
I might just
No,
be
but
walking
like-
down the street and get dizzy.
But seriously, we've lost so many black men to colon cancer and prostate
Definitely.
cancer. Please, because we lost Black
Definitely a
Panther.
stigma.
We lost Black Panther to colon cancer, and I feel like colon cancer is something that can be prevented if it's caught early.
If Chadwick had let me finger him, we all would have
Don't you
Oh
dare
my
talk about
God.
Chadwick of the Bosemans.
We all would have known so
Don't.
much sooner. If I made a simple request, I sent it in writing in an email,
I would fight you.
and he said no, thank you. And I mean, look what happens.
Oh my god!
I
I was at work that day and like howled when I found out that he died. I was not at all prepared because I just knew I was gonna leave Chicago, move to Hollywood, and meet him again, and we was gonna fall in love. Ugh.
I just want to know who thought it was a good idea for him to play James Brown. I don't.
You
The
didn't like
wigs,
that?
the wigs,
Seriously.
the wigs.
So bad.
Who?
Do you ever seen those old James Brown clips? His hair was kind of after about an hour and a half into his
Honey,
show.
no.
This perm was melting right out.
It can melt, but this is movie magic. They should have gotten like
CGI this wig on.
who does Beyonce's wigs because they should have done his wig. That was ridiculous.
Get Mama Tina out there.
Oh my god! But- and that movie came out on my birthday, and I went to go see it. I hate the world for that.
Pity. But like I've always like as a comedian, something I would love to do if I ever have a special, which I won't. But if I ever do, I would love to have do my closer like James Brown, where like you think the show's over, he walks out, they like put the white towel over him because he's exhausted, and then he comes back out, like just comes back and
start
gives you more
singing
hell.
Beloved.
You might actually. I can actually see you being really, really big in like the next few years. I really can see that.
Oh, yeah.
Like
and
me
you might
weighing
get
400 pounds.
No, motherfucker, like big in the scene because like. I've seen a lot of stuff that you've done, and it's to me, in my opinion, is. And I'm not just saying that because I like you, because trust me, there's so many people who I actually do like that I tell the absolute truth to. Your shit was trash, but you on the other hand, you make me laugh like laugh out loud, and I can see you happening, but I can also see you reaching like Al Pacino levels where like you'll get in one role and you just won't clear your throat at all. But like you won't clear your throat and then you start mumbling. So it'll be like a mix of, it will definitely be Miss Brown. It'd be like Miss Al Pacino Brown.
Miss Al Pacino.
There you go.
Well, because I always thought, because like off the reruns, like because we're growing up on it as a kid, I always thought I'd be perfect to play Mr. Grant. Like I'm supposed to be the angry heavy off in the corner. Like it all looks like a fun good time. Just, who the fuck's that cocksucker? No, I'm not doing that.
I can see that.
Gravity.
Oh yeah,
I can definitely see that. That in the city, like, oh, who's this bitch? I can definitely see that.
Oh yeah, like if they ever redid Casino.
Oh my god.
You shoot him, I'm going to work.
No, you're the Sharon Stone character.
You gotta redo Heat.
You are the Sharon. Okay. I'll be Val Kilmer.
Oh, thank you. I need somebody hotter on my side, so thank you. I appreciate it.
So if you see me coming around that corner, you're just gonna walk out on this girl without saying goodbye.
You know that fucking dress with Casino, where you see Sharon Stone around the crap table with the beaded dress
when she throws the chips.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
That dress probably weighed 30 pounds. Beads are so fucking
They're
heavy.
so heavy.
Beads are. I don't know how she like threw anything. I don't know if she lifted her arm.
I did a fashion show. I used to model back in the day. I did a fashion show and they put a beaded dress on me. I literally like within a minute I had to sit down. It's the heaviest shit. And then they want you to walk down this long runway and then turn and then like walk back. And it's just like I told him, I was like, if I walk down there, I'm not coming back.
Seriously.
I'm really not.
Beads are so heavy, you understand why the Indians thought they were valuable.
That's a true currency.
Oh my God. Miss Brown, do me a favor. I know you was talking about your YouTube, but please let the fine folks at home know what you got going on in the city. Promote your show. Promote anything else you got coming on right now. How can these people find you?
Thank you so much. So my social media, my Instagram's Ms. Brown Comedy, MS Brown Comedy. My website's MsBrownComedy.com. I've got a bunch of dates coming up. I'm at Comedy Bar in June. I'm at Laugh Factory in July. And the YouTube channel that I work on is youtube.com/Black Music Archive. I've interviewed Grammy Award winning singers. We have a great time over there. So go check out the content. We have new exciting stuff coming all the time. And we might be working on a Tony Braxton video right now. Just saying.
Exclusive content.
Do you think I am?
She has not raised her voice since that album.
I promise you, Tony Braxton. So the day we put my dog down, rest in peace, Esquire. The day we put my dog down, I came home. The first song on the radio is just another love song. That song is etched. It like melded itself to that sad. Anytime I hear about that song now, I think about my old dog.
That's a good song, though.
Saddest song ever. Jess, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, I'm sorry about your dog passing, by the way. I'm sorry. I love dogs.
Mind telling the people what you got going on, how they can find you, how they can support the photography, and how they can find you on socials.
Okay, so my name on social media is Jessica Lenai, at Jessica Lenai. That's Lenai. That's my IG. My photography page is j.lenai, Lenai photography. Just hit me up. The next place you guys can see me is at Emporium on May 31st for Stick to Comedy. It's free. Just come out, support the show. The more people we have coming out, the more that the Emporium like, yeah, we're going to deal with this bitch some more.
Shout out to Stick to Comedy. Once again, I am Mike Knight. Make sure you're hitting that like, share, subscribe button so that we can keep bringing you this exclusive content every week on Real Rap Podcast. It is Mike Knight Comedy on all the things. And stay tuned, man. We're going to keep bringing it to you more and more and more, man. I love y'all. All right, we out.
Peace. Mike, now you straight from the south side. Mike, now you. I'm just so happy to be here right now. The Real Rap Podcast.